Hello, PreCalculus. Here is section 4.7 on video 1. We're starting off with law of sines and cosines. We're going to start with law of sines. And we use law of sines when we don't have right triangles. When we have right triangles, we can use Pythagorean theorem and other techniques. But when we get to oblique triangles, which means we've got one obtuse angle, or we don't have all right angles, we can use the law of sines to help us solve a triangle. What does it mean to solve a triangle? That just means you want to find, given three pieces of information, say this, this, and this, you can find all the other pieces of information. So solving a triangle just means finding each side and each angle. So in order to do that, though, like I said, you've got to have at least three pieces of information. So either two angles and a side, or two sides and an angle that's opposite of them, or three sides, or two sides with the angle that's between them. So that's a lot of cases, but by the time we get through 3 days of this, you're going to be able to work through all of those. The first two of these cases, this one and this one, 1 and 2, we can use law of sines, but when we get to side, 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 and side, angle, side, we're going to have to use law of cosines. All right, so here's example number 1. We want to solve A, B, and C, and it says round side lengths to the nearest 10, angle measures to the nearest degree. So I'm going to start with my big A, big B, big C. Remember, that's your angle measure. So 35 degrees for A. B is 103 degrees. We don't know big C, and we're going to look for little a, little b, little c. It looks like they gave us little b as 20. So it's horrible when it's all blown up. Probably not much better when it's smaller, but you get the idea. All right, so what law of sine says is if you have three pieces of information, you can figure out this piece right here. So it's a matter of proportion. So sine 103 divided by 20. If we take that ratio, it has to be equal to the ratio of sine 35 divided by A. And so we're going to use this proportion equation to figure out what little a is. And we're going to do that by cross multiplying. So I'm going to do one with all the steps. Here I'm going to multiply both sides by a. That'll get rid of a over here. Get it out of the denominator. I'm going to multiply this side by 20. That's going to get 20 out of the denominator. So on this side I'm left with a sine 103. The other side gives me 20 sine 35. And we're solving for a, so we're going to divide this by sine 103. So that they cancel, and now we get a on this side. On this side we have 20 sine 35, sine 103. And so that's what we're going to plug into our calculator to find a, which I've already done, and we get for little a, when you plug that in, you should get 11.8. All right, we can also find big C. We know two of our angle measures, and we know in a triangle we have to have 180 degrees. So I'm going to take 180, and I'm going to subtract off the 103, and then the 35, and that'll give me big C, and so big C is 42. And then once we know big C, we can use the law of sines, again, the sky of proportions, to solve for little c. So again, I'm going to use sine 103 over little b, which is 20, is sine 42 over little c. And so I get c sine 103 is equal to 20 sine 42 when I cross multiply. And then dividing both by sine 103. I see, this is what I'm going to put into my calculator for C. When I put that guy into the calculator, I get 13.7. And now I've solved my equation, or my triangle, because I found all of my angle measures and all of my sides. All right, looking at B, we're going to do the same thing, except for this time we're going to call it R, S, and T. Which means the sides are going to be little r, little s, little t. So big R is 63 degrees. Big S is 51 degrees. little r is 13. So if I know 1, 2, 3 pieces of information, I can find little s with the law of signs. So sine 63 divided by 13, that ratio has to be the same as sine 51 divided by little s. And I'm going to start skipping steps on you. When we cross multiply and then divide by sine 63, that would give me 13 times sine 51 divided by sine 63. Again, this portion here, when you're solving this equation, that takes you back to junior high math. So I feel confident that you can get to this part. And then you're going to plug this guy into your calculator. And for little s, you should get 11.3. If you're having a hard time getting it into your calculator and getting the right answer, come see me and I'll help you with your calculator.
Good afternoon, Mr. Staff, Mr. Sombero. If you are in the building, would you please call the main office, Mr. Sombero?
All right, to find big
Thank
T,
you very much.
we're going to subtract the other two angles from 180. We know there's 180 degrees in a triangle, so if I subtract off 63 and 51, I know my other angle measure is 66 degrees. And then again, it's like a little puzzle. Back to law of signs. If I know this piece, and this piece, I can use law of signs to find the little t. So sine 63 divided by 13 is equal to sine 51 divided by little s. So little s would be 13 sine 51 divided by sine 63, and that should give you 13.3. All right, on to the U try. This time we got J, K, and L. J is 29 degrees. We don't know big K. L is 25 degrees. Little j is 18. We don't know little k, and we don't know little l. All right, so if we know this piece, and this piece, we can use law of signs to find the little l. So sine 29 over 18 is equal to sine 25 over little l. Little l would be 18 sine 25 when I cross multiply and then divide off that sine 29. When you plug that into your calculator for little l, you should get 15.7. We can find our third angle by subtracting it from 180. So that'd be 180 minus 29 minus 25, which is 126. Nice fat obtuse angle. And then to find our last piece, we can use law of signs. You can use either of these pieces. I typically choose the one that I had both of the original pieces of information, not the approximated one. So here I've got sine 29 over 18 is equal to sine 126 over little k. Little k is 18 times sine 126 divided by sine 29. And that would be 30. All right, that's it for video 1. I'll hit example number 2 in the next video.